and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum.
Young
Peace.
TV.
It can change your DNA. It can upgrade the healing pod can upgrade your DNA, downgrade your DNA. It can take away birth defects that's in your DNA. You can't produce birth defects, right? All that stuff is the potential of that machine. Cheryl, I don't know how I be doing this stuff because some of the stuff that I be running across, I doubt myself and look it up and be right. I be like, how the fuck I even know that? Yeah, Chief, who created school, university, trade school system. So, first of all, the modern educational concept, from the Western perspective, comes forth on the island of Crete, right? That's where the first university of Europe was established by Queen Helen, or Hela, who is the keeper of Valhalla, the paradise of warriors. And her jurisdictional domain, she had the obligation to raise the locals in consciousness, so they created educational systems, and they called them universities back then. Like, you didn't have, university wasn't higher education, it was just education. And now it's higher education because the lower education is your training program on how to be a successful slave. Cliff Simmons, you're absolutely correct. The children are always, even if you go back to your childhood, you instinctively was drawn to the person that the love they felt for you was unmistakable. Thank you, Raven. Glad I was able to help you. Yeah. Oh, okay. So let me get back to that. So the children, like, if you go back, when you used to always want to be around the people that you thought loved you. it's a joyous feeling to be in the presence of genuine people that love you for free. And it makes you want to be around them. So you had your favorite uncle. You always want to go over your favorite uncle house. And your mom be like, your uncle don't want to be bothered with your little bad ass. I want to go over my uncle house. Your uncle don't want to be bothered with your little bad. He got his own life to live. He old bachelor. I'm going over uncle house. I don't know what am I talking about. Hey, uncle, what's up? Hey, nephew, super duper, what you know? What it do? Right? So children can sense when somebody's love is genuine, and they can sense when they in the presence of somebody who understands the concept and expression of being in a state called unconditional love. That's an energy state. It's not something you do, right? Right? It's something you become. Unconditional love. Then you become that by practicing loving people for free. I love you because I love you, and I don't need no excuse. And that generates the unconditional love frequency on the inside of your aura. And you walking around encapsulated in pure, unadulterated, I love myself, so I love the world energy. If I didn't love me so much, I would have been destroyed the planet. But since I love me so much, I'm going to pull out this big ass band-aid, this large ass needle, and this long ass rope thread, and I'm going to sew up the wounds of Earth like I was her primary care physician, and, and tie it all together with the other people working to patch this big old hole in the heart of Mother Earth. I'm bring my toolkit, right? And I'm only obligated to do the part that the universe prepared me to do. And it just so happened that some of the people listening, because I'm doing the part the universe raised me and taught me how to do, using the agency of varying people around me, right? I can come now and be the living example of overcoming the struggle in the age-old fight of good versus evil, or light versus dark, or the chess game, and the galactic chess at that. Yeah. No, lust is just your natural, instinctual drive to procreate through intercourse. That's lust. The woman that can drive you into a lustful frenzy for her while y'all just having a simple conversation and hit your ass in your heart chakra, right? She's going to alter you forever. You're going to never go back to wanting for settling for anything less than that pure love energy. Uh, Cheryl Jones, we not supposed to be sending no children to school, but parents too lazy to homeschool, and the children suffer. So now they sending them to shooting galleries under false pretense of getting them an education, when the reality is that the parent was just too busy or lazy or a combination of the two to homeschool their children. Our people do not want to go back to the cultural dynamic of the village raising the child. We want to be the dictator in our child's life, even when they're an adult. Thank you, Sherry D. Look, we talk about healing the earth's wounds, right? It's so much these people did underground to earth. Any woman that can feel Earth, know Earth feel like she's not only been raped, but she's been strip raped by an army of hooligans. As far as the eye can see, the stuff that they was doing to them babies down there, and the terror it gave to Mother Earth by being encapsulated in the BS being encapsulated on the inside of the Earth. Mother Earth don't like that. Mother Earth felt like every mother feel about their child and their neighbor child. Her mama ain't here right now, but that's my child until her mama get here. Village raised the child. Now, don't nobody want to say nothing. The girl trying to tell you that she don't know this man, and you tell her, go on, get in that car. He said he's your uncle. She just told you she don't know that motherfucker. Don't make her get in that car. Oh man, you making me blush, Cliff. I, I'm I'm with the shits. I want the smoke. I'm not backing down. But one thing about it, when people show love, that makes me blush because I'm not used to it. I'm used to. I'm the most hated. I'm the most loved and respected of the most downtrodden and be hated. So out of all the hate they gave me, I was able to love myself enough through it in order to get here and give y'all the messages of my life experience and what I discovered in the aftermath of our physical war, of how we was fighting the enemy that blended in with us so well that the non-melanated ones couldn't tell us apart, and we was all assumed to be the same. We not the same. They not like us. Everybody that came to Earth came under the pretense of learning how to balance their internal self with the outternal world. And, and nobody came in that didn't intend to be here. Everybody who's here that intended to be here agreed to write their book of life before they come into the world, so they'll have a Akashic record of why they came. Once they get here, so many of them forget the purpose by which they came that they become easily led astray by people that they didn't come here to associate with. Normally, Dolo Ray J, normally when the person decide that they coming back through somebody, just the person that they love the most, and they want that person to be their parent in their next life. And so they picked who they gonna be born back through as, as the favorite of the individual, the nephew that the auntie loved the most. She gonna come back through him. She want him to pick a certain type of female, so the energy frequencies will facilitate her getting back through that seed. They not soulless, and they are a different species of being, right? And they did agree to come here, and they came with a nature that reveals who they are in the cloak of the human vessel. The character betrays the lineage of the individual that's proceeding forth. The lineage that's known as the serpent clan or the Amaru clan can take the energy of the serpent and strike on your ass without provocation or warning if they get in that energy. That means you did something. I hope, Sherry, that you write that people can assimilate the love and surrender any excuse to dislike another person. Because as long as you got a reason that you can validate why you don't like somebody that's never done anything to you and you never met, then that is a tool of divide and conquer that you are being duped into acting on as if it was your marching orders. Mm, okay. I'm looking for questions in the comments. I answered the Iron Bush question. Let's see if I see anybody else. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I just answered the other question. Uh, are the beings doing as souls that have just made the free will decision to do this or that? I just answered that. Look, the blood and the right. The only thing negative that's going to happen to anybody in the once the matriarchal system take online, the only people, right, that's going to be punishable under that system is going to be the ones who follow all of this hatred. They don't care about what your skin color is. When we get the tribal lands back, some of the chiefs don't want no pale faces around because they still believe that the pale face is the white man and they don't know the white man ain't white. Because if they knew that, then they would realize that the person that's being used as a cat's paw is being manipulated by a nigga darker than you with nappy hair. Yep. That's the message that we got at the River Styx. And if you don't have your 2 pence to cross or your 2 farts to cross, you can't get across the river because you can't board the boat. The boat, the guy who rows the boat is Anpu. And they send him because he don't take no for an answer. When it's time, it's time. I got my girl. Happy belated birthday, Christina. Um, yeah, so remember Kamala job in the show called Politics is to fail miserably. The reason why is it's the fall of the whore of Babylon as written in Revelations. So her chucks and pearls, it's at least 3, maybe 4 Kamala Harrises, and one of them just so happened to be a man, just like the Statue of Liberty. Well, we don't call it suicide. um, because the elders that do it realize that there's nothing I can do to solve the problem, and I don't see the problem being solved. Therefore, I can no longer withstand seeing the suffering from the problem being perpetuate. And so, because of that, I'll see you later. Tiamat the dragon is not a physical dragon, it's a stream of energy that moves around on the ley lines of the planet. Dragon mean master. Normally, when you call somebody a dragon, they are the master speaker who's spitting flames in the words that he's saying, right? In the culture, we had what's called a dragon warbonnet. The dragon chiefs, right? Chief Zolo, Tupac Amaru, Tahuti, all of those were the highest chiefs. They called dragon chiefs. And they wear the long war bonnet that drags the ground. Finga Lafia. Yep. So, looking, anybody else got any questions? I'm starting to wear down now. Enjoy having y'all or being here with y'all in this space and time, and hope that we can garner the 100 monkey effect and reach critical mass in this massive turnaround that's taking place of spaceship Earth. I call it spaceship Earth sometimes, and we walking around in Earth rovers suits. Okay, so the different colors of butterflies. You remember this about the butterfly. Butterfly is the symbol of the one who has went through the molten stages and came out as the beautiful butterfly, but they went in as a slimy maggot looking caterpillar. The colors tell you either who is talking to you in your ancestral line, or it's related to your tribal colors, or related to something that has a key significance to you in the colors that the transformation of the butterfly represent. The butterfly also represents what's called the butterfly effect, where a butterfly flapping his wings in Los Angeles, the energy by the time it go from LA to New Orleans, from LA to Dallas to New Orleans to Chicago to Detroit to New York to London to Turkey to India, by the time it gets to Japan, it's a full-fledged uh, tsunami rolling in. And the side effect is it generates a mass uh, Mandela effect where events are not any longer as you remember them because there was a subtle shift in the timeline. The monarch butterfly is known as a spirit messenger to the Shinigami, or in Europe to the kings of Europe, and over here it would be to the chiefs, right? And then you use the colors in your decoding of the message that's being relayed to you by way of the butterfly. The A tone is a pitch and a frequency that allows the people to all vibrate on a very specific frequency, the A tone. In Arabic, it's the Ain. I'm it's the A tone. The uh, A on the musical scale that carries the pitch and the frequency through the musical scale in order to get to the scales of Mach in order to determine if the balance has been met. And when you look at the scales of Mach and it's been cashed in, the heart was as light as a feather. So they give you back your heart and they replace the feather with a feather on the other side of the scale because it's perfect balance that balanced itself. And as long as the weight is the same, the balance becomes perpetual. In other words, there is no loss of energy when things are perfectly in balance. That means no entropy. And because there's no entropy, there is no conflict in the energy. Now the energy begins to operate in what's called a superconductive capacity. In my flux flow capacity, it's nothing short of mastery. That's why these riding bastards be endlessly after me, hoping life would try or to destiny or tragedy would capture me, right? So it's the A and not the minors. Yep, all hail the Queen of Heaven and Earth. So we have reports that there's a fleet coming, and we have reports that there's a lone ship. We call those jumper ships, um, using modern terminology, because they shuttle from Earth to Nibiru when Nibiru is in a certain distance from Earth. But before they come, they send probes and drones to any planet that they intend to visit. So you will have a secondary orb around your moon, which is a satellite that's using gravity assist that's in the orbit for a certain period of time, right? And that certain period of time is the time required to get for Nibiru to get from where it was when the secondary moon arrived, and when it leave, Nibiru will be right there. Yep, shout out to the Napi tribe, Unami clan, Algonquin Nation up in this piece. Yep, them all tied back to the um, Gullah Wars and the conflict, right? We don't know when this is going to be over until it's actually exposed and is over. Right now, they running these false narratives and these sensational news stories in order to get you to continue to push for a new slave master that they call the president. And as long as you pushing for that, they know that you are too asleep in order to be a threat to the mass awakening. When enough of us come online and critical mass is reached, it's time for shocking off for the rest of them. I appreciate it, Holy Living. Where do Coupe? What's going on? Cheryl said the not between two rivers here in New York City. Look, when I thought I was just visiting people, right? I was staying with Sylvia over in Delaware. I didn't know I was spending time with the Delaware Indians, right? Them the ones Trump just said that they would be a federally recognized tribe once he resumed his powers in office as the president. But what people don't know is when the power structure shifts over, ain't gonna be no need for no president because the matriarchs is gonna be um, in charge of filtering the assets to the relief like this the disaster relief that's being withheld right now. Right. Okay. So Raven, what you talking about? So she said Keisha Steele walk-ins are souls that don't want to experience the artificial reality. Where did she go? From birth and take over the avatar at a later stage of life rather than coming through the birth canal. That's actually most of the walk-ins. They have to pick up a contract of a person that's no longer believe they can fulfill the obligations in a book of life, and they can tag another ancestor in as a walk-in to finish the job, and they the ancestor that's been guiding them the whole time anyway, so they already know where he at in the workbook in order to get the answers that he need in order to pass the test. Okay, you get well, Christina, High Priestess. Protect them golden eyes, by the way. Appreciate you, Iron Bush. Appreciate you. Hey, Emmy Lou. Yep, we the collective. Take all of us to be the collective. Yep. Oh man, I don't know. I ain't heard from Top Cats or Dane, but I'm sure ready for the next installment just to chop it up with my brothers for no other reason. I'm I want all the love in me. I want all the love you can send me. You can put some in the box. You can put it in the bottle. You can send it by trailways. You can send it by airplane. And no matter how it get here, just send all that love. I want all the love because I'm tired of the hate. I want all the love. No, he was not in protective custody in Cuba. Tupac had confirmed about 5 hits on his life. Tribes need Tupac's intelligence and his leadership capability on the flip. We had two options. Let them devils get him and kill him, or we can take him off the chessboard and put him in what's called a advisory capacity to the next one that's coming to solve the problem. The next one to come to solve the problem gonna be the last one, and the last one be me, the last fucker breathing. So, um, he's able to feed me information and signs from wherever he had in the world without ever having a conversation with me, just to let me know I ain't dead. I heard a rumor I died, murdered in cold blood, dramatized. Pictures of me in my final stages. You know, mama cried. That shit was fiction. Some coward got the story twisted, like I no longer existed, mysteriously missing. I'm not no haphazard bars, right? And he said, right before your very eyes, you won't even realize you can't see me. John Cena, Vanilla Gorilla. you can't see me, right? So Cheryl Jones is on here, and she's putting out a New York City and Virginia call um, for her to assist you in setting up your homeschool system. Cheryl, you want to come on and tell us about some of what you do and how you and who you can reach? I'm sending you a request now. Because that's important, because they finna have some more school violence that's unnecessary and uncalled for from them psychologically and altering these children, right? See if they'll let you in, Cheryl. I sent you the request so we could talk about these homeschooling programs. Trailways. Listen, there's no way possible when that shit don't line up. I don't give a damn what his daddy said. You ain't getting cremated and no autopsy in 24 hours. It's not finna happen. First of all, you got protocols because they got to wait a certain amount of time to make sure you dead for real. So, um, Cheryl, on the bottom of your screen, wait a minute. Uh, shit. It's when it's going to send you a notification when I invite you and you accept the notification, then it'll pull you right on the screen. Okay, just sent it again. It should either pop up or you're going to have something light up on the bottom of your screen to let you know that I'm requesting for you to join. Yeah, I know. I got Rodney Hicks in Flint. He from the same Crenshaw area, Chicago I'm from. And he his family is in mortuary science. And then I got my boy out of Grand Rapids, Haywood Nelson. His family is in mortuary science, right? So I know you're not finna have an autopsy and cremate a body to spread the ashes 24 hours after it happened. That's just not gonna happen. First of all, the autopsy gotta wait in line for the other dead motherfuckers that came in before this dead motherfucker. And that's going to take hours because the average time for an autopsy is roughly 4 hours. So a coroner working a regular schedule is only getting like 2, 3 autopsies done a day if he's doing a full autopsy. They got something called partial autopsies where they're not really looking for the cause of death, but they put in the innards of the person into a vacuum sealed bag now, but they used to just tie him into a plastic bag and stuff him back in the cadaver, right? But there's no way you finna be, and then there's 3 different BMWs, one with the gold rims, one with the silver rims, and the hatchback. Then you got the people from the grounds crew saying they seen Tupac get put in the helicopter, but you got Suge Knight supposed to be riding in the back of the ambulance all the way to the hospital. One of them lying. I don't know which one it is, but I know enough to know one of them lying, right? Another anomaly in the Tupac case is in his music, he told us exactly what he was going to do. Okay, so it wouldn't let. I saw the invite when I clicked on it. It went to App Store. You must not have YouTube on your device and they want you to download YouTube in order to get on to the live. Um, oh, that the guy that you're talking about, Corey Ivy, his name is Akil, and he's from a group called the Hieroglyphics that was out right before Tupac came out. They was out like 89, 90 to like 93, and Tupac came out like 90, 91, like that. And so the goal is to keep people talking about the chief. If you are one of his tribe members, you will always keep people remembering the name of the chief. It's the nature of us as a collective. And because we know our nature, that can serve as a catalyst or a tool to read the circumstances surrounding almost anything that takes place on the land. If you one of the chiefs, you can read the land well enough to know, oh yeah, that was a 6'4" plaid lumberjack shirt wearing, combat boot walking, dusty ass jeans uh, guy from the middle of Kentucky that done that crime based on the scene, right? But you need to get your experience of code cracking up in order to crack the codes of the crime scene in order to establish justice in the field. Oh, oh yeah, Emmy Lou, I know you been already aware. You can't your tribe, you been woke up for your tribe. Look, I don't know if they sent Swift Taylor to infiltrate the Chiefs, but they not even the problem. The pale face is not the problem. It's the motherfuckers that look like us, but they ain't us. But they want us to believe they us while they trying to take our birthright, and we supposed to freely surrender our birthright to them because we too stupid to know our asshole from a hole in the ground. Yeah. So I'm looking for any more questions. And it look like I'm about running out of time. I gotta go fix me some vittles. Any more questions? Y'all better put them in the chat. If you want to come up before I go, send me a request now. Hope I was able to give y'all some productive and meaningful information throughout the course of this broadcast, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on in real time. It's so much stuff that it's difficult to keep up with if you don't buckle down and focus on what's in front of you, right? By dealing with the task at hand, you open up a way to see different all the way across the land. Um, Dolo Ray J say any throat chakra inspiration. Um, the throat chakra is activated by you speaking up for what you feel, believe, or think is right without regard for what another person might say about you, do to you, or none of that. You stand in the position of right. I mean, I'm right from where I'm standing, and I'm telling the truth. So now you have to deal with that. I don't have to deal with it because I did my due diligence to one, present truthfully the information, and two, be right when I came to the game. Yeah, I'm waiting to see Three Kings walking. That's gonna be a monumental event. Hopefully, I don't know. We might shit. We might get one of them out of Cal Farms, or Larry might have a farm or something, and just so we can video them walking across the land together. And they were telling us that we each other enemy, and we was being infiltrated by an enemy that was convincing us to murder each other, and we fell for it. We got caught up in it. Singing is always a beautiful exercise for the throat chakra, because that love song, like singing love songs, get you in the frequency of love, and then make the pitch and the tone of your vocals come out clearer, crisper, and more heartfelt. Okay, Curry Ivy, I see you later, sweetie. I'm about to pull up out too. I was trying to make sure that I don't have anybody else asking questions before I dip. Yes, the Cheryl Jones, the sacrifice of telling the truth before other people can perceive what you're talking about is you are presumed to be an insane lunatic who have no freaking clue what you're talking about. Right? That's the side effect of it. Because if you're telling the truth, you're gonna hit people in a way that they're gonna condemn themselves for being a failure and not knowing what you just informed them of. And you didn't even intend for that to happen. Nature just took its course, and their contentment with disastrous government and tyrannical rulership of people hiding in secret places, then if you don't speak up against it, you become complicit in it. Therefore, you can't cry foul, right, when you get caught up with your enemy that you thought was your friend, right? Because Mama said the sealer is bad as the stealer. If you sat there and watched them people torturing them other people, now you know why we got tortured. We got punished by our sins, not for our sins. The sins was the way that a new species of human was created in the laboratory that bypassed the approval of Prime Creator and the Earth Guardians, and it was all being concealed with something called sulfurite, or sulfur's rights, which is supposed to be a chemical to mask carbon, um, supposed to balance. The sulfur is supposed to conceal what the carbon would instead balance, and it leaves it off and demented. And this is how you generate serial killers without even knowing it. I take all that spiritual protection in me, Lou, all that. I want all of the spiritual protection. Let all of the good, benevolent ancestors to come in to aid and assist in this struggle for this righteous endeavor, to assist us as we move wise and clever through the battlefield of this tumultuous war zone created by our sworn enemies that swore to be our enemies, but we never swore to be nobody enemy. We just believed in the right to defend ourselves, because part of the right to self-determination is the ability to be able to protect yourself from hostile situations. If you can't protect yourself from hostile situations and you think that you're free, you delude yourself in order to fit comfortably into a system that was designed to rip your soul from your chest without asking your permission. The earlier video that I did was I wanted the people to go to Instagram and everybody send a copy of that video to Lil Larry so he can go over the duress information with Larry's attorney. And this is going to take the question that the judge was asking, how many deaths is Larry responsible for? The question is how many lives have he saved by changing the material belief patterns of a rogue group of people that was detrimental to his community, and trying to take that threat of duress into a direction of positive outlets, and people still used his name to do dirt when he was trying to change the whole community by moving from gangster disciple to growth and development. So we only just wanted to get the message to Lil Larry so he can know how to proceed with talking to the attorney to help his father best. And can't nobody say they love Larry more than Lil Larry and Winnie. You could say it, but it don't make it true, right? And this, for this nightmare to be over, the truth has to be exposed, right? Now, we needed what's known as a catalyst event, right, for Larry to be put in the position to be released on his own away from the system, right? And the justification that comes in off of the duress defense shows that he had never intended to be part and partial to a criminal enterprise in any form, shape, or function, right? So, if you don't present the most pertinent assisting information on behalf of Larry, that you just wasting time, you're not really trying to get him out. And I really don't trust the lawyers, but if little Larry know what need to be done and they still on some shenanigans, then that's when the tribe's gonna start preparing to get involved. But that's not necessary if they tell the truth, and the judge knew what Larry had to endure during the course of his term in Illinois state penal system, right, before he was indicted out of there and shipped off to the federal ad max and different federal facilities leading up to that. So once you get the information to somebody that knows the defense strategy, by putting the ball back in the court of the judge, it's not how many live deaths is he responsible for, it's how many lives have he changed for the better, right? He's changed far more lives for the better than any murder he could ever possibly be responsible for. For every government allegation of a murder, he's done 10 times the work to help 10 times more people than that to follow the right track, to get the right information in order to develop into the best people throughout his community that thrust him in this position and threatening with his life to never let it go. I know some Gatlins, but I haven't ran into them so long that the last name is like an echo in memory. What it do, Monique Williams? What it do? Jared Hill, Pete 74. Hope all is well. What the best way to find out what tribe we belong to, especially when the elders don't know or parents act like they don't want to teach us. So the first thing you have to do is know where is your prominent point of origin that the most amount of your relatives can point to and say, we came from over there, right? My point of origins traced to Mississippi on both sides of my family. My father is from Canton, Mississippi, and my mother is from Magnolia, Mississippi. And my grandfather used to own the majority of that land in Magnolia, Sunflower, all the way to Tylertown, and all those places down there. And that became a sharecropper's dream to pillage my grandfather's farmland for the purpose of economic development. So by tracing back to where the most amount of your ancestors that or relatives that you know can say we from there, that then you look at the tribes that's on record as being from that area, and then you try to find images to see what the people look like, because some of them, like I got a red pitch with nappy, um, dark brownish red hair, right? And I got a certain facial characteristic that's characteristic to the nations of the Algonquins, but my tribal affiliation comes in through being dual Mississippi bloodlines. On my father's side, they told him it's the giraffe. They stand tall and proud, drinking alcohol, talking loud, looking out over the crowd, right? That's the fatherland. So when that's how you trace yourself. You got motherland, fatherland. Sometimes your mother and father might have met in one city, but both of their origins trace back to the same city. So that's the best starting place to determine what your tribes were. Yeah, a lot of times they didn't tell us to protect us because if we claimed that we was from certain tribes, that was a death penalty by the black hand. Hmm. Um, where do Coupe? A lot of this psyop stuff you see going on is to pacify the public by entertaining them in the political arena so they won't see the war being fought. It's war being going fought all over the world in underground tunnels, but they don't want to expose the public to what's going on until a certain level of the cleanup has been actually and factually verifiably completed. Then they're gonna use one of these false flag events. I don't call them false flags. I call them time orchestrated alarms in order for them to tell you what's taking place, right? Um, yeah, Mary Magdalene is Mary of the Magdala. Mary mean in Europe the rebellious woman, but in Kemet she is the queen mother that walks the land of Ta Mary and oversees the children under her domain as the goddess shepherd of the people, right? And this is why Mary had a little lamb. Yeah, you definitely got to be careful who you trust. Um, Somebody say, "Hi, Chief Natalie Jenkins." Say, if your parents come from North, the two different places, so you that don't, I still don't minimize your birthright and your original status on the land. It's just that you come from two different tribal bloodlines that, when your parents got together, was connected. Appreciate you, Jared Hill. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of the families have toxic people in them that feel my cousin just hit the lotto for $80 million. I'm finna call him because he gonna give me $100,000 of that money. What the fuck I ain't? I might give it to you if you come with a plan that makes sense on what to get, what I'm giving it to you for. But that's my money. That don't have nothing to do with you. Just because I got it don't mean you got it. You can't count my money for me. You can't count my assets for me. That's my job. You can't come in because you think because we family and we got the blood that you just gonna take my shit and do what you want to do with it. That's utterly ridiculous. Now you done totally disrespected me as a human being, let alone disrespected me as a man or a gorilla that's about to dribble your ass like a basketball. Go on, Diane. Diane Span, where you from? I had some homeboys last name Span. Oh yeah, our culture. Ooh, Ariana Robinson. That's my girl. She's so fine. Um, I didn't even know she'd be watching me. I thought I'd just be looking. Hey, Ariana Robinson. Black girl magic over there. Yeah, anytime you mix two bloodlines, you're gonna have generational curses from two different families. And that's going to a lot of times to be difficult for the one whose job it is to break generational curses. And because you got the disposition and the natural know-how to fix your fatherland, but when it comes to fixing your motherland, you can't even relate to them people, or vice versa. You got everything that it take to recover your motherland, but your fatherland, you can't figure them niggas out. Yeah, go and get into your shit, black girl magic. You gonna come up and talk while I'm on here before I go? Cheryl. Okay, I'm gonna Cheryl up. The person was unable to join because of technical issues. I'm so sick of that shit. East Coast spans. Yeah, I had a homeboy named Jerry Span that I went to school with. I ain't really know him that well though. I went to school with Travis Henry, and like like when I see him, he's like a little brother to me or something. He always should give me a shout out. I'm gonna see if I can let you in, Ariana. I don't know. It wouldn't let the last Cheryl. It wouldn't let Cheryl in. See if it let you in. I sent you the request. It should be at the top of your screen. To say it's adding you. Gee, so fine, so fine, blow the man, baby, baby, baby. What's going
What's
on,
good with
girl?
you, Chief? Nothing much. I just got in for real. I just was out socializing on some shit I don't even do for real.
Where you at? What city you from? Or you stay
I'm
in?
in it's called Pennsgrove, New Jersey. It's in South Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Like
You
right
on the
before you
side
get
of
to
land.
Delaware. Say it again.
I said you on the side of land.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
black. That's the queen of black girl
Hell,
magic right there.
hell,
All of those
yeah.
girls and Afro priestesses. Them her, them her girls right there. They don't play.
I'm screaming, Chief. It's crazy because I'll be honest, I ain't even think you still remembered me for real. From that one time we had talked.
Yeah, how
But
you forget?
heavy on that black girl magic, Chief.
I
I
put.
on some real shit though, like I really I don't know, I feel like ever since that first time we talked, like I really just tapped in and like really started getting into my own little shit. Like I don't know, I be feeling cool as hell. Like, you know, doing my stuff and like I really more than anything be learning. Like I don't be trying to claim to do nothing because I feel like the number one thing with any type of any knowledge, like if you don't really understand it, I don't feel like you should be doing that shit. So like I feel like that's my number one thing. Like I always want to learn and fully understand what I'm doing and understand that shit. But just learn about it. I be feeling cool as hell. Like this shit is so interesting and like, you know, it's me. Like it's really me.
Yeah. Black girl magic. I treat that shit like hot sauce and put it on everything I fuck with.
What? What it almost like everything. Like what? I be wanting to do magic for everything, just for some regular shit, like just cause I can. Like that should be just. It's like, oh wow, that's really me. But Chief, I really something I really been wanting to ask about, like
Let's go.
what what do you think, or where do you think, I guess, in this system that's about to, I guess, come about, where do you see like the school systems transferring into as far as like the duels and shit go? And as far as like these kids that like are still in or like modern day school system, like the ones that ain't been homeschooled yet, where do you see that like turning into?
Well, first, when the banks close, school's gonna close shortly after, right? The,
Okay.
the new education is a different paradigm.
Yep. Yeah.
The learning centers is not going to be a school. It's going to be a learning center, and the
Cause
learning
school is
center
here.
can use school buildings, but it's going to be predicated upon the open air teaching method. So you're going to have elders, right, whose job it is to teach the boys at different stages according to their specialty, right? Most people don't evaluate their life skill set because if they did, they'd know exactly what their life purpose or mission is, because you got to look at all the stuff that you decided to learn and say, why did I even learn that shit when I don't do nothing with it? It was a
Mm-hmm.
program. It's a learning program to give you the tools to do something probably in an entirely different era later on, right? So when you go through all your skill set, that's the qualifications to the job that's your life purpose. Now you gotta ask yourself, why would I need to know this shit? Oh no, that makes sense. Right? Or no, that don't make sense. Let me look somewhere else. Right? So you can learn about economics and health, and then you can use economics to manage health, and you can use health to benefit economics. You know, so
Okay.
it's different levels and layers of the awakening and where you gonna fit in the new age, in the dawn of a new world. So we going into golden age energy, which is a small cycle inside of a bigger cycle of iron age energy. So that's platinum group metals as the prevalent factor in the frequency. When you understand the frequency of each one of the platinum group numbers, atomic weight, call letters, and you begin to do the diligence on it, it begin to translate like a tarot card what the oracle
You said
is in the message.
you said this is the platinum metal group, right?
Yeah, like platinum group metals.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so iron is a soft metal, right? Gold is a soft
Mm-hmm.
metal, but
Mm-hmm.
gold is a platinum group metal, but iron is not,
Isn't.
right? Platinum, iridium, gold, silver. It's a couple more of them in there. But you also have people that won't be represented by the metals. They'll be represented by crystals, right? So you might got person who's born might be controlled or better able to manifest using the blue Merlin stone, which is an Andara stone. Or you might have the person that uses the jet stone, right?
Mm.
Or the person that uses the ruby or the sapphire or the amber. But they all, it's just like people represent the groups of metal, they will also represent different crystals too. Matter of fact, what that's called your birthstone, right?
Mm.
We
Yeah.
that's the crystal that governs the frequency energy you own to amplify who you are in the world around you.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that's so crazy. But Uncle Rod, then my birthstone, I was born, or I'm a Pisces. My birthday is February 24th. So
And that's
my
just the one day
birthstone, I
after
guess, is
yours.
what?
Yeah, for
What? Come on,
25th.
man. Come on, man. That Pisces energy. But purple, to say all that to say, like purple, because my birthstone is amethyst. I feel like the color purple has always been like my favorite color my whole life. But like deeper than that, I really always felt like in tune with purple. Like I feel like in a more worldly sense, we relate that with with royalty. Like royalty wears purple. Kind of, and it's also like, in a spiritual sense associated with like a higher level of spirituality. But I don't know, like my whole life, I always, like, not even on no, I guess, spiritual shit. Like I've just, on some regular shit, I've always just loved purple, and like everything around me, like, like you said, like it's been saturated in purple. I don't know, like, can you speak to that? Like what would that even mean? Like,
Purple is the royal art degree. The
and don't
royal,
you always say that be the mixture of the red house and the blue house?
yeah. So you representing two pillars, as one
Damn.
pillar is red, one
Yeah.
pillar is blue, right? And the arc between the two meets at what's called the capstone over the top of the door. The
Hmm.
capstone is the final stone to commemorate the building. But the first stone laid is called the cornerstone or the keystone. If you don't know what the cornerstone or the keystone is, you will never understand the capstone of the royal art degree, because you have to master both red and blue. And now you arcing from the red pillar and the blue pillar, and it meet in the middle and it becomes the purple pillar, right? Or the middle pillar. So now, all this is training systems for the rightful heirs to wake up from the slumber, to assert their
Hmm.
birthright in order to overrule the fraudulent systems and restore balance back to the societies of the humans.
I should. Yeah, no, I really, I don't know. I mean, when I asked that, I feel like I already knew, but I just still wanted to hear your opinion. But no, that very much so feel like what it is. Just because I know you always say like the mother line and the father line, like that being the red house and the blue house.
Mm-hmm,
I always be feeling like I'm the oldest too out of my mom and dad kids, the oldest girl. Well, I'm the only girl, but I'm the oldest.
mm-hmm,
And then, I mean, the one of the first times we spoke, I told you how my mom passed away.
mm-hmm.
What, it would be 4 years ago now. And I don't know, just in her absence, like a lot of that shit has been shown to me. Like you had said, like I feel like as unfortunate as it was and as fucked up as it still be having me, I feel like she did have to physically step aside in order for me to fully recognize where the fuck I need to be in life. Because I feel like I never would have asserted myself into that position if she was still here.
It's called Get Out Your Way.
Hell yeah.
Life is a relay
Hell yeah.
race, right? Our ancestors passed us the baton so we can run into the future with it.
And to Uncle Rod on some chat and shit, like, I be feeling like not feeling like I know I'm definitely like an old soul. Like I be so what you be saying? Tired of that shit. I'm at 21. I'm tired of this shit. Like, it's some motherfuckers older than me. Y'all had 30, 40 years on me, and y'all just still, I don't even know. But I'm just like, I definitely that baton race. I'll be like, damn, even though I'm an old soul, like sometimes these lessons I'll be still having to learn be fucking me up, because it's like, damn. Like, I think you had said that in one of the tapes you had recently did. Like, you won't have like people come into your like, sphere, and it's a baton race to them. You had said that you was like, they just there to help you with something, and then they pass you off to the next person.
Yeah,
And then,
so in the game, right, in our book of life, we have what's called walk-in characters. They only came in that one page of the book or that one chapter, and then they gone forever. But then you have what's called repeating characters. They might come every other chapter, every second chapter, every fourth chapter, but they keep popping up in this storyline. That's your book of life, right? And the more they pop up, you then after a while you can see the role they playing in your life clearer. Some people just came to teach you how to be a good friend, and some people came to teach you how to be the worst asshole anybody ever seen. You're gonna get both lessons
yeah,
because you work in between severity, the harsh lesson, and mercy, the benevolent lessons, the lessons that you learn by observation as opposed to the ones you gotta experience. The harsh um, ones are the ones you have to experience, meaning you have to go through an emotional range
yeah,
in order to flip out of that cycle. And until you go through the whole emotional range, you can't get out of the cycle. You keep skipping an emotion, right? It's the same if you riding a bike. If your chain miss a link, it'll jump off the track.
and keep popping.
Yeah.
Dang, Uncle Rod, that's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's about it for me, sweetie.
Yeah, you seem tired. I'm gonna let you go.
No, I ain't tired. I just been
Well,
chiefing.
yeah, I was about to say, it seemed like
This this
done
the
with
chiefing with
this.
this chiefing with the chief session. You know?
Yeah, I was about to say, it seemed like you done chiefing with this, with chiefing with us. It seemed like you done with it.
Yeah, I just put this bad boy out. I got half of it left.
What? Cause Uncle Rod, you be chiefing for real. What you smoke? What you smoke? Like, what's your rap, or what you be
I
rolling up?
use organic hemp wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get different strains. I got two brothers that smoke worse than me, way more than me, and so and I got some nephews that can out smoke me too. But I smoke after at the end of the day, stuff be done. They smoke
Mm-hmm.
all day.
Yeah. That be me. I don't smoke all day.
Yeah, I gotta wake up. I gotta get over being high yesterday before I can get high today, or else I'll lose a whole day.
Shit, you probably would for real.
Yeah.
But Uncle Rod too, I'm gonna let you go. But I just wanted to know, like, since you be remembering me and shit, like, could I hit you up? Cause I be having hella questions, like I be
Girl, you
wanting
ain't
to
even
ask
had
and
to
shit.
ask. You ain't even had to ask that.
I ain't had to ask, but I just wanted to ask out of courtesy, cause I was like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
can I just hit him
So
up?
yeah,
Wow.
because I take video calls on Messenger and on Instagram Messenger, and only when I don't answer, I be doing something. Otherwise, if I ain't doing nothing, I just answer and like, hey, what's going on? How can I help you?
Well, you really a regular ass dude. I fuck with that heavy, bro.
Yeah, I'm regular as hell. I'm super regular. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, that's the solution.
Right.
Is to be
But
super
what make
regular.
it a problem is people think that I'm supposed to feel like I'm so much of the big cheese that I can't be personable. That's not the function of a real chief. A real chief is
Yeah.
approachable. Just don't come with no bullshit because you might get checked the wrong way.
Don't come with no bullshit. Don't come with no bullshit, because then I gotta check you.
Yeah, because the book of Dilligath says, verse 1, chapter 1, fuck around and find out.
What? So saith the Lord.
Yeah. All right, sweetie, I'm going to let you go.
All right, G. You be safe out
Yeah,
here.
just hit me up, though.
All right.
All right. Okay, that's it for me, people. I'm about to go get me some vittles. I got the munchkins now. Or I say the Oompa Loompas. Whichever one you get from the herbals. Because remember Grady on Sanford and Son, when they made the salad and then they thought they was putting parsley in the salad and they was putting the herbs in there and Grady was feeding it to the to Hoppy and Smitty, and the more they ate, the hungrier they got. And he said, and then Grady find out that it's herb in there, and he said, "Oh man, I think they got the munchkins." Hey, look, Holy Living, all I could do is smile because we got a real great day coming ahead of us with some real fascinating things to see of a benevolent nature. We just gotta watch the labor pains of this bullshit birth this next reality, right? So I pinned the comment in the from Cheryl Jones um, about she said anybody interested in support for transitioning to teaching or educating your child outside the system inbox me. That's Sister Cheryl Jones. So she over here on uh, Facebook with me. For the people that's gonna see this on somebody else's channel somewhere else, his sister name is Cheryl Jones, not with a S, not a C. SHERYLJONES, and she's offering support for people that's trying to get acclimated in the homeschooling instead of sending a child to these deaf camps, because that's what they're about to turn into. The plan is if the parents don't decide to take the children out of school, the plan from the deep state is to force them to take them out by putting as many of them deliberately and willfully in harm's way as possible until so many parents pull their child out of school, they have to shut it down because there's no way that any of this senseless school violence should be condoned by this system when they're using it to try to get you to stop sending your child to those places where they teach them how to be devils. This is all they do is teaching them how to be the best devil they can be or the best slave they can be. Ain't no middle ground. You either gonna be a little demon or you gonna be a slave. I'm not familiar with the story of the the school bus in Thailand, so I can't answer you, sweetie. Yeah. So Cheryl Jones said that Trump gave you the option to take the money out of the system and pay who you choose to teach your child. So she's talking about the budget allocated for your child to attend public schools. You can take that budget and the school will give you the voucher in order to pay the private educator of your choosing. They use taxpayer money to fund this, which is really not using taxpayer money. They really using federal, no, not Federal Reserve, International Monetary Fund and World Bank proceeds, right? Tax dollars is just used to calculate the amount of slaves that's still duped. They can tell how many of us is still entranced in this spell by how many of us participating in the IRS scandal that y'all don't even know it's a scandal yet. The IRS is a whole scam and scandal. They are a foreign collection agency hired by the Federal Reserve, another foreign agency, to be a collection agency and to go around and compel people to sign contracts agreeing to pay for them to remain poor, broke, and ignorant. That's the way it is. So, yeah, yeah. The, the IRS is a private collection agency. It's not a government agency. And this is why they was issuing a challenge for somebody to show them where paying tax is obligatory. No, it's elective, and they use the corporations to dupe you into signing the contract and becoming a a mind controlled zombie or a drone worker slave. That's what the whole inflation and tear down your economy and all that. That's what all that is, keeping you enslaved and in bondage, right? So, yeah, this is based on people signing contracts. That's what it is. They got so many contracts now. Almost everything you do comes with a contract. So all trickery and trappery, right? So, I hope I was able to give y'all some good information today. And I'm about to be out of here. I'm about to go get me some vittles because my stomach is crying wolf. Hey, Kelly. It's going to be a moratorium at the beginning of the shift on people paying rent due to the banks being closed and nobody having access to the money to pay the bills. All that stuff has to be taken, the responsibility has to be taken over by the federal government under the SB 191 or 192 that was the agreement of the government to pay your utilities and rent in the bankruptcy, and they've been using it against us and concealing it from us, right? But it was the bankruptcy that said that they would have to foot these bills. So when the banks collapse and there's no way for you to go pull your money out because there's no branches open nowhere, um, whoever is pretending to be the commander in chief at the time is going to have to do a state of emergency executive order to ban and suspend all evictions for non-payment, right? The only people they'll be allowed to evict is what's called a unlawful squatter, a trespasser, right? And you can lump a trespasser up in the law and be in the right, just so you know. Yeah, Bank of America has been running into a lot of difficulties, and I'm supposed to have been posted it already, but I'm behind, about a day behind on post, and I'm about 3 days behind on my messages, but I'm trying to catch up. I'll catch up. I'll be caught up by today, Friday. By Sunday, I'll be caught up with all my messages. So if y'all got something y'all need me to talk to me about, inbox me, and while I'm answering my messages, we can get to the answers that you're looking for. And my girl India in here. What's up, India? All right, peeps. It was good chatting with y'all, but now the food calling me. Peace out.